I want to tell you about a Saturday afternoon in my back garden. It was late May 2025. It was a beautifully warm and sunny day. We had close friends and family around us, people who loved her, people who were sharing stories and laughing and crying in equal measure. And I was fine. I'd been okay for the previous couple of days. I was being strong, staying present, holding things together for everyone around me. And then it hit me, out of nowhere, like something physical, an overwhelming wave of sheer emotional agony that I had absolutely no control over. I had to take myself away from everyone and sob, uncontrollably, alone in the sunshine. Her name was Rebecca. She was my stepdaughter, and she had just taken her own life. I want to talk about grief today, not the sanitised version, not the 5 stages, the real thing, what it actually does to you, what it's trying to tell you, and why I think our collective inability to sit with it is one of the most dangerous forces in human life. Because here's what I've come to understand. Grief that has nowhere to go doesn't disappear, it transforms into anger, into control, into the need to find someone to blame, into walls built so high that nothing can get through, including the people trying to reach you. Unprocessed grief is behind more human cruelty than we ever acknowledge. Rebecca and I were only truly close in the last year or so of her life. When we first met, a decade earlier, she was 16, our relationship was strained. She was struggling, falling out with her mum, making choices that scared everyone around her. She left home. It took years for the bond of family to develop between us. But in the final weeks of her life, after her relationship had ended, she came home, and we talked, really talked. She was a deep thinker, someone who felt everything intensely and struggled to find a place in a world that didn't seem built for people like her. I recognised something in her that I recognised in myself. And that recognition became the particular shape of my grief. When she died, what broke me wasn't simply that she was gone. It was that I could feel viscerally in my body what she must have been carrying in the days and hours before she made her decision. The weight of it, the exhaustion of fighting a battle inside your own mind that nobody else can see, the moment when hope runs out. I knew that territory. I've lived in it myself at different points in my life. And sitting with the knowledge that she had been there alone, that she had reached the end of what she could bear, that was the grief that undid me on that Saturday afternoon in the garden. Here's what I've come to believe about grief since then. We are terrified of it, as individuals, as a culture. We rush to fix it, medicate it, distract ourselves from it, perform our way through it in the appropriate number of days before returning to normal. We treat it like a malfunction rather than what it actually is, the price of having loved something real. And our terror of grief makes us dangerous. Leaders who cannot grieve cling to power. Movements that cannot grieve cling to enemies. And people who cannot grieve cling to certainty, to rigid beliefs, to blame, to the comfort of knowing exactly who is responsible for the pain they cannot sit with. If you look at the conflicts we've talked about in this series so far through that lens, the cycles of violence, the inability to compromise, the dehumanization of the other side, you will find underneath almost all of it unprocessed collective grief. Nations that have never mourned what was done to them or what they did. The Tao Te Ching doesn't resist impermanence. It flows through it, returns to the source. There is a passage: yield and overcome, bend and be straight. The Tao treats loss not as an enemy to be defeated, but as a natural movement of the whole, like water finding its way around an obstacle rather than trying to break through it. Grief approached that way is not weakness. It's the most honest response to being human. It is the acknowledgement that something mattered, that connection was real, that the person, the relationship, the version of yourself that is gone deserved to matter enough to break you. Rebecca mattered that much. And the wave that broke over me in that garden on that sunny Saturday afternoon, the one I had no control over, the one I tried to hold back for 2 days, that was love, doing the only thing it had left to do. I'm not going to tell you grief gets easier. I don't think that's quite true. I think we get bigger around it, more able to carry it without being destroyed by it. And in doing so, if we're brave enough to actually feel it rather than convert it into something harder and safer, it teaches us something that nothing else can. That we are not separate. That what we feel for each other is real. That the pain of losing someone is the same substance as the joy of having known them. The same blood.